Imagine a world where everyday objects, like your coffee cup, your office chair, even the air around you, are constantly feeding real-time data that can improve public safety. Sounds futuristic? Well, it's actually here, and it's called Ambient IoT. Today, we're breaking it down. What it is, where it fits into next generation 911, and whether we should be worried about it. Let's dig in.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. I'm Mark Fletcher. I'm an EMP and the Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. TiPS is your quick hit source for all things public safety, technology, and emergency communications. Let's get right into today's topic. So what is Ambient IoT? Okay, let's start with the basics. Ambient IoT is essentially the next step in the evolution of connected devices. You see, unlike traditional IoT devices that require direct connections like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cell phone networks, Ambient IoT works passively, often piggybacking on existing radio signals or leveraging ultra-low power sensors to collect and transmit data. Think of it like Wi-Fi, but for everything. Tiny, almost invisible sensors can be embedded in everyday objects, and they can communicate with the world around them. And no, we're not talking about your smart fridge tweeting about expired milk. This is about passive, real-time data collection that could revolutionize everything around us, including emergency response. So what's the big deal for NG 911? Well, Ambient IoT could provide first responders with real-time automated insights in ways that we have never seen before, like environmental monitoring. Here, sensors could detect smoke, gas leaks, or even changes in structural integrity of a building before humans notice it. Location accuracy. Ambient IoT could enhance location tracking for emergency calls, not just by pinpointing the caller, but by identifying hazards or medical conditions that are in the immediate environment. And then there's the health data in emergencies. Wearable tech and smart fabrics that are embedded with Ambient IoT devices could transmit vital signs in real time during a 911 call. So imagine a dispatcher knowing if a caller has experienced a heart attack even before the caller does, or before any responders arrive on scene. So, should Ambient IoT be regulated? Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. Should we be concerned about privacy and security? Well, the short answer, yes. The longer answer is that we need standards surrounding Ambient IoT. You see, with a sea of ambient sensors that are constantly transmitting data, who owns that data? Who gets access to it? And how is it secured? This is where policymakers need to step up before the technology outpaces regulation. So what kind of standards work is needed? Well, right now, we don't have a single governing body that oversees Ambient IoT for public safety. Now, while some work is happening within the IEEE and other IoT-focused groups, NG 911 stakeholders need to push for specific issues. And these include data security protocols. They're needed to ensure transmissions are encrypted and tamper-proof. Then there's interoperability standards. That'll allow sensors to integrate seamlessly into existing NG 911 networks and frameworks. And finally, the regulatory guardrails that balance public safety needs with user privacy rights. So today, we're at the ground floor of this technology, but if done right, Ambient IoT could supercharge emergency response in ways that we're just beginning to understand. That's it for today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks for listening. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on social media at Fletch911 or visit 911tips.com. There you'll find all our past episodes. Stay safe, thanks for listening, and if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.